more than just a saying.
Somebody.
It's more than just a brand.
It's more than
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
No handouts.
Jumped off the porch at 6, hopped out of school, then I was hustling. Got the game in the headlock, ain't no back and forth, it ain't no tussle. I hustle, no handouts, that's the end of the discussion. Ain't just talking about the streets, gotta hustle, you wanna eat. Youngest hustler of the year, everybody know that that's me. Get it stepping on the beat, I go crazy, I'm a beast. Wanted some more on my plate, when it got I'm here to stay. Can't play around with the fake, all the real hustlers round this way. Working for them, stay to stage, putting in work, I'm in the face. Move around, making plays, getting money day to day. Only way I know to do it is the hustle every day. Only way I know to do it is the hustle every way.
Hustle, no handout. All I know is that paper route. Don't matter how you getting the paper, long as you getting it. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All hustle, no handout. Don't matter how you getting the paper, long as you getting it. No doubt, no doubt.
And with that being said, it's more than just a saying. It's more than just a brand. It's a lifestyle. All hustle, no handouts. And it's just like this. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. And with that being said, you are tuning into the All Hustle No Handouts podcast right here. You already know over here, the All Hustle No Handout podcast, man. We speak on the hustle stories that you didn't know about. You see where they at now, but man, what did they do to get there? What hustle did it take? And who better? Who better than me? Yeah, the hustle kid himself, Corey J, as your host and my co-host right here, Boss Man Chase.
Boss Man Chase. You know
yes, sir.
I had to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Again.
Most
you know
definitely.
what I'm saying? Because, you know, I earned it. You know what I'm saying? Hustling.
Yeah.
Grinding.
What else?
Putting the work in.
What else?
I made myself a boss man.
Yes, sir.
You already know it.
That's what it's about. And speaking of a boss, man, today we got a very, very special guest, man. We got. You already know over here we don't bring nothing but people that's contribute to the culture, the culture of man being a hustler.
Right.
And today we got a hustler who, man, he was a hustler, but not only that, he branched off from his hustle to becoming an entrepreneur and owning his own business, starting it off at 20 years old. And at first he started off by having rapping cars, and then he got into having his own business, doing 3D t-shirts all over. But from there, from his hustle, man, it was only up from there with his hustle. Right. And with that being said, our special guest, without further ado, man, we got Snap Man over here today at the All Hustle No Handout podcast.
Sir. Let's get to it, baby.
So, Ryan, what's up with it, Snap Man? What's good?
Now, what's going on, baby? You good?
Yes, sir.
Already, fam.
So, how you feeling, man? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Been a long day, but let's get to it, man.
Most
Let's get to it.
I'm glad you took out the time, man, for us to pull up on you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
Because, Our Hustle No Handout podcast, we is a mobile podcast. We pull up on you
Exactly.
to get the raw hustle stories.
We most
Exactly.
definitely do.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. And today, that's
up?
what we bring it to you. We got a hustle himself, Snap Man. So real quick, I did a short introduction, but you've been doing this thing, having your thing going, your hustle going for 20 years. And I'm just 15 years old, so I know it's some thing that I missed out on. I ain't put it in the so tell the people about anything that I ain't say right, or some things I left out, anything I left out in your introduction.
I mean, really, you nipped it at the head, man. But make the long story short, we've been doing our thing for like 17, and it's been a long time coming though.
17,
from the shirts,
17. Okay.
yeah,
17
from the shirts to the to just the hustle. Period. Life has taught us a lot, man. From the grind, from the street level to the business level. So, it's a learning process, but it's all hustle at the end of the day. No handouts.
All hustle, no handout.
Yeah.
So, how did you start your hustle, Snap Man?
Well, I can take it way back, though. I just go ahead and take it back from the beginning.
Okay.
Let me take it all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, how the
like when I was a kid, though, I come from a home, we stayed in the hood or whatever, though. Didn't have too much or whatever. So it kind of like those things where we grow up in poverty, we kind of look at ourselves like, man, what it is we want to do, because we see the cats getting money, see the cats riding the cars and the rims. Yeah. It's like one day you want to be that. So, where we grew up, we don't know other way but the hustle, man. Where this, getting how we live or just getting out there hustling, whatever that can make a dollar to feed our families and take
Scott,
care of
I
ourselves.
don't mean to cut you out, but I want to hop in on what you just said because that was the whole one of the biggest points where I sat down with Corey and we wanted to bring this podcast to the people. Because like you said, they pulling up in the fancy cars, and Rolls Royces or whatnot through the hood. Yeah. But they never getting out. And they never telling you their story on how they got it and how they getting it. So, as like you said, me young, you young, you know, we just seeing this and we just want it. And I had to find my way. You had to find your way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you wanted to have it, right?
Exactly.
So that's what we doing, man. Bringing a hustle story. Hopefully your story can help the next. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they know
That's
how to
what
go
it's
get the
about.
Rolls Royce and know how to go, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, get to
exactly.
it.
Yes,
Exactly.
sir. That's
exactly.
most definitely the whole reason why we started this podcast, because you know it's each one teach one, and that's what it's about, man. You got a story, I got a story, my co-host got a story that can help somebody right now. They wonder, man, how I do this. I'm young, but man, I want to do something with my life. Speaking of being young, you doing something with your life, man. You knew from a young age what you want to do. Well, when did it start for you? When you figured out, man, I want to hustle? Where did your hustle come to you? When did you grow into that?
Well, when I was younger though, man, when I ain't gonna lie, man, when I see my friends getting money, it was like, man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they put me in the game or whatever, man, and from there I started learning wholesale, retail through a street level, whatever. So I guess that was taught us what we know now for us on a business level, wholesale, retail, buying our products, selling them, and making a profit off of it, and learning how to expand our profit and go in on bigger products and making more profit. And that all started with me personally on a street level as a teenager, but it gave me the fundamentals of a businessman, fundamentals of a hustler, you know. And but from there, you know what I'm saying, like I said, it taught it, but make the long story short, you know, got caught up in the situation, had to end up doing a little time in prison, ended up doing like 7 years in prison, though. Had to lay down quite a good minute, you know, most of my teenage years or whatever.
So you hopped out. So you kind of hopped out.
Yeah.
Hustling kind of led you down that road.
I was gonna
again.
speak on that.
Yeah, like make the long story short, what carried on when I was 13 and 14, you know, from there, doing my time, coming home, the hustle gonna always be with you.
Right.
I don't care where you go.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? You know, you could be locked up, but your brain can be.
I don't mean cut you, but as you hit the table, the mic kind of picking.
Oh,
it up.
okay. We're gonna get it right over here, man. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right, man.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
I'm
go
listening.
ahead,
Where we
spark
at with
that back up.
But from there, it's like, you know, when I touched down, I was hungry, man. I ain't gonna lie, I came in beast mode. You know, you gotta think about you young, you muscular built, you know what I'm saying? You broke, you know, and then it's like, dang, man, you laid down for, you know, holding your tongue, you know, being a real one, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you feel like society owe you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're not gonna take that approach like, hey man, somebody gonna give me something or whatever. You still gotta get out here and get it yourself.
Right.
So, you know, from there, I just said, you know what though? I'm gonna utilize everything that I wrote down when I was incarcerated. And speaking of that situation, I had a plan. It started like with plan A, plan B, plan C. The first plan was t-shirts. And like I told you, like just to narrow it down, I didn't know what it is that I want to do when I touched down. I just know that I didn't want to be back in the streets because it wasn't for me. And for one, I was too real to be involved with a lot of fake people. The game that got so crooked to where people snitching, people crossing their own homies. That wasn't my character, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? You got to do something positive. And so I prayed to God, you know, while I was incarcerated, I had like 2 years left on my sentence. And I was just seeing a lot of cats, you know, a lot of stuff that I didn't see right with me going on. I'm like, that ain't what I want to be. God answered my prayers 2 days later. You know, sitting down on my bed, I had prayed to God 2 days prior and say, God, show me what it is that I need to do when I go home because I don't want to sell drugs no more. And from that point, it was a light bulb hit me when everybody went to the yard. I used to stay back and like work out, train, you know what I'm saying? Box, hit the bricks up and everything like that. And then I chill out, write down my stuff, kind of get a peace of mind where everybody gone or whatever. I used to stay back or whatever. So when I laid down, man, I tried to go to sleep and it's like a light bulb hit me like bing. So I jumped up on my rack with my head on my hand on my head, just jumped up, T-shirts. So I'm like, T-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Cause we ain't never thought about no T-shirts ever. So I'm a little youngster, whatever. I'm sitting on my rack, like it just hit me like something woke you up out your sleep. Boom, T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this got to be coming from God. Cause I just prayed 2 days prior to say, show me the light. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I jumped off my rack, I'm like, man, God said T-shirt. I'm knowing this came from God. Cause ain't no way in the world T-shirts just hit you up, wake you up out your sleep. So I grabbed my pen and pad, so I'm like, T-shirts. So I'm like, well, this is the thing that God want me to do. So I'm like, now I need to start finding out about T-shirts or whatever. Right. So that's when I started gaining knowledge in a sale. I started asking people, what do programs people use? I learned through Photoshop. I started learning what people was doing out here. They started telling me about, hey, you got this guy in the metro that does like this iron-on stuff, but they not doing it the way you're talking about doing it when you come home. So I'm like, really? So I'm like, so what? Ain't nobody doing it like this? I had like a little plan going on to where spice it up, put the background, put the Escalade, put the people, because mind you, I forgot to tell y'all this part. When I was incarcerated, I was hustling my ass off, man. I got pictures to prove this though, right? Sending my family money, man. We used to take the shoes, cut them up, with the tongs. Cut a little razor, cut it up, slide our money in there. So when visitation come, we'll take our shoes off, dump the money, and give it to our parents, and they'll stick it. We were definitely getting money, man. So, and this is a scheme that we had going on, like. I used to pay the guards or whatever, right? Because I was young, man. I used to see people step to the guards because they was getting food in, like cell phone, like, oh, I'm like, man, I got to try this, though. You know what I'm saying? So when I stepped to them, I'm like, listen, I got a plan. If you can get me in some pictures, I can make some money. I'm the GED. At the time, I had just got my GED. So I was, like, teaching all the people, like, from the teenagers, 21, all the youngsters. We all young up in there, right?
Right.
Didn't have a high school diploma, so I would teach them how to get a GED and how to educate them or whatever, though. So upon my journey of that, I ran into this white guy named Spanky. So he was cold with the Photoshop. So what we would do is that I would get the officer to bring in a camera. I would take the picture of, like, say, for instance, we always, like, built. So we would, like, flex with the camera, like, with our black and white stripes on or whatever, though. And what we made it cool. So what we'll do, we'll take the pictures of everybody built from behind the walls or whatever, take the picture, give it to Spanky. Spanky will take the black and white stripes off and put Jabos on them. Put an Escalade behind them. Put, like, this background with, like, this firecrackers and, like, the words, kind of like something like with the graphics or whatever. So I'm like, dang, I was doing that, making money, making people feel like they was free, but they was really incarcerated. Okay. So we was having them clean as hell, but they was built with the background with their names on it. Spank do the Photoshop. So I'm like, it was making like bukus of money. And plus I was gambling and stuff, send money home to my mama. Cause I know like when I get home.
That hard. I ain't never thought about that. You just, man, that's hard.
What's that? What happened?
That's hard.
I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, for real. How you just
never heard of it.
You really figured out your hustle in there.
Yeah.
And you started you seen it was gonna be profitable as well.
In there.
Yeah. So when you stepped out, so like how you said 7 years, right? So how old you was when you got out?
20.
20
going on 21.
So how old were you so you 13 when you went in?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, 13 and a half, something like that. Yeah. Because I started off with juvenile. It was a long story because I was a trouble kid, man. We ain't counting what it was, detention center, then training school.
Yeah. But you know the
so
fast
really before then, but
through it all, you turned your hustle from a negative to a positive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what would you say that you got your hustle from? Like, who inspired you? Like, when you first said, man, I want to be a hustler. I don't want to clock in. Nobody should, man. I want to do my own thing. Who would you say inspired you and gave you that motivation?
A lot of hustlers, though. But I'll give you one key hustler back in the day, Pimp C. I don't know if y'all remember Pimp C. He used to come through my neighborhood. He had a girlfriend stay like right across the street. He used to come to my neighborhood like in this candy apple red Suburban though with the gold Dayton's on it, man. So like stay getting money. Matter of fact, shout out to Pimp C, man. That was one of my first motivations, man. As a young kid, we growing up. You know, we seen a lot of people that motivated us though, but that was like one of the originals when we was broke, trying to, you know, handle our situations on the street level. But then we had the idols that was already in the game that was really doing their thing that we really want to be like, and so that's what made us like say, hey, forget being broke, man. We ain't trying to, you know.
So that was one
of your
inspirations, Pimp C.
Yeah, one of them on the street level though. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So look, you talked about how, you know, you had to take your time to sit down, and that's when you figured out your plan for where you get out. But, you know, like I said, this podcast is to inspire the next snap man that want to be like you, that want to run his business. So my question to you is, you know, for the young people that might be watching this right now, they like, oh, man, I want to be great. Bro, I want to do something, but I don't know what that is. I want to own a business, but I don't know what field I should get in. Can you just break down real quick to help them out? They figure out, man, what do I want to do? What would you say your best advice would be to help them figure out, man, this going to be the plan, this the key, this what I want to be great at?
Do what you love to do, for one. Because you can't, you're not going to really be successful if it's something that you don't like doing or whatever, right? So, because think about it. Y'all like going to the studio, right? So you ain't supposed to play basketball. If you don't like playing basketball, you ain't going to give it y'all. That's with anything. So first, you got to have a passion for it, though. Second, your grind, your dedication. You know, a lot of stuff like, say for instance, like how a lot of people be going to like clubs and stuff all the time. You got to have discipline. You know, you got to say, you got to know when to stack your bread. You got to know when to flip it. You got to know when to take that risk. You know, so another thing though, key thing, like I told you, is like praying to God though. For one, you know that for some reason God always guided me through every situation. But I think that people should just, you know, follow their hearts and their intuition, and because it ain't just no one set rule that fits everybody. Because I think just like even with you, rapper, producer, whatever the case may be, everybody has their own lane, but you know, you got to do what's good for you and what you see your future into, and that something that you would love to do and have a passion for. And that's my biggest advice, man, is that you got to have a passion for it. Oh yeah, another thing, go hard or go home. You know, even though you have a passion for it, if you're not putting forth the fruits, you know, the seeds, you know, so you can, you know, plant your fruits, plant your flowers or whatever the case may be, then you're not going to prosper. And, you know, you can want this here out of life, but you get out the game what you put in the game. And so I feel like it's whatever. Because you can come up from stocks. You can come up from T-shirts, painting, cars, rapping. You name it, though. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. People become millionaires off a lot of things. Clothing lines, anything in life. But it's like I said, at the end of the day, you got to have a passion for it. And you can't just jump into a game thinking that you're going to reap all the benefits from it, because you got a million people out here that's doing probably the same thing that you're trying to do. What's going to separate you from the competition? What's going to separate you from others? They're going to make you stand out. That's the key. Because if you don't separate yourself from the average, how is you going to ever be great? And so me stepping in the game and me touching down, I'm realizing like, oh man, I'm telling everybody before I touch down, man, the whole city gonna know me as Snap, man. Man, I'm gonna do the best T-shirts, man. I promise, man, ain't nobody gonna touch me, man. Do some this. It's like my mind was like Jordan, like you. When you step on the court, you knowing you a beast on the court. So if you Jordan, you already know in your head, hey man, this dude, he can't shake me, he can't dunk on me, he can't, because I'm Jordan. So it's like you gotta come, even though you ain't Jordan, you gotta come with that attitude and that mentality and that grimy. Because the thing about it though, in the game, you can get ate alive. You know what I'm saying? People ain't gonna spare you. So you got to get in the game and go hard and be hungry about
that's it. That's something I learned off early from this guy right here. You know, that's something I learned early. You know, he told me, you know, I understand you're young. With this when I was first starting off, you know, I tried it when I was 4, but really, you know, when I first jumped off the porch in the music was when I was 6 years old. But, you know, he gave me this talk real early. He said,
yeah, man, you young, you doing your thing, you young, that's cool, but understand, ain't nobody gonna baby you, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing, because you playing in a grown man game. And when you playing in a grown man game, it's like when you get into the NBA. You did your thing in high school, you might have been doing your thing in college, but now you in a grown man game, and ain't nobody gonna say, here you go, take this shot, man, I'm gonna leave you open.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you gotta come out here with your A game, because you in a grown man game.
So you know, Snap, you hopped out of prison. You know what I'm saying? It was working for you in there. Your hustle, you know what I'm saying? The t-shirts, you know how you were doing the graphics, worked for you in there. When you hit the ground running. How did it kind of pan out for you from there? You know what I'm saying? It worked inside, but obviously you found out it worked for you on the outside as well. But how did you go when you got out? What did you
see? This is the thing about it though. You got to have a plan. You just can't just jump into anything though.
Right.
You got to look at it. I had this whole tablet. You got and you thinking up in there, right? So we got plenty of time to think, plenty of time to mastermind. Man, the brightest cats in the world, man, are behind those walls, man. Right. I wish they can free some of those guys, man. They got you think I got $1 million mindset? There's some people in there that's like way intelligent, way colder.
Right. Well, I mean, you got a lot of time on your hands to think when you're in there.
But look, it's more than just thinking. It's about putting it into action. So I believe that's what he was trying to expand on is, you thought about it and you was putting it into action behind the walls, but you could think about it, but how did you put it into action and make your hustle work for you?
Well, check this out. I came up with a plan that I have to make at least $8.50 an hour, right?
Right. Okay. Cause you didn't want to go work. You weren't gonna get that at McDonald's. You weren't trying to go to McDonald's and get that, was you?
No, not really though. You know what I'm saying? Not really though. But like, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell y'all the exact plan. I'm gonna really get it to y'all raw. In the print that I have on my tablet, I get a job. I first got to get a job. I got to make at least $8.50 for a week. For 5 days, I need to get at least 40 hours a week. If I save my money for a whole year, I can have enough money, because at the time I ain't have no kids. I have enough money to put back for a business, okay? This is the plan that God gave me now. Like telling you, I'm just a young dude at the time. I ain't understand nothing about the business world. So from there, like when I came home, I utilized everything that I said I was gonna do. And be honest with you, I ended up getting a business before a year. The goal was to touch down, open up a business within 1 year. I touched down in January and opened up a business in November the 14th, 2004. So I got out January 24th and got a business in November the 14th. So that wasn't even a year I became a CEO, right?
Yeah.
And that was strictly because I disciplined myself. I didn't get caught up with the females, tricking, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
I stacked my bread instead. I was selfish. I'm like, man, I got to get on. Forget that. You know what I'm saying? In order to get rich, that's another story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to separate those two. But and that's what happened. And so from there, like I said, the Mexicans, man, that was running them all at the time, they seen I was young. I came to them and said, hey, I'm almost got y'all money, but I need like 2 more months. And by the grace of God, man, they're like, you know what, man, you young, you gifted, we like your talent, we see what you can do. Tell you what, we're going to give you 2 months in the mall for free. Just because you got a grind about you. So we like you. We figure you 2 months for free just to see how well you would do. You know what I'm saying? So when they did that, though,
and it was up from there.
You hustled.
And that was 17 years ago.
In the game, man.
That was 17. You never stopped, did you?
Man, I never took a break. Never fell
Did you
off.
ever
Never.
doubt, though?
Huh?
Did you ever doubt in your plan?
You're talking to Mike.
No, I never doubt the plan because it was God's plan. You can't doubt it when it's God's plan. You feel me? Because I knew it was from God,
Most definitely.
So, yeah, I never doubted. I never gave up because I knew, first of all, you can't, ain't no such thing as giving up. Ain't no such thing as going back to where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done struggled. We done paid our dues. We didn't hurt for years. You know what I'm saying? We done suffered. So it's like, that going back to that, it's like in our heads, we're never going back to that. You know what I'm saying? This is how we think.
Right.
So, I mean, the wheel of going back is the kind of like the wheel that drives you to keep going. You know what I mean? Because when you suffering and been in poverty, in your mind set, well, it's in my mindset, I never want to go back to that. Yeah. So I worked, I hustled, took no handouts. got on, flipped my money, invested. Like I say, never tricked off. You know what I'm saying? Just stay consistent. Stay delivering, stay coming up with hot stuff, like with the T-shirts, coming up with different stuff from the diamonds to the glitter to the glass to the, you name it. We did a lot back then, you know. And just stay consistent. Consistency is definitely key, for sure.
Right.
So
one thing I love about what you got going is, you know, to say, you know, I like to say it like, you know what I'm saying, you got some plants, right? You got a whole plant field, and you only got so much water. You can't, you know what I'm saying, you watering all these plants, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, it's like, you can't expect all of them to grow to their full potential.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you need to focus here.
Yep.
And you need to focus here. But what I like about what you doing and what you saying is, you came out with the mindset and you made yourself great instead of trying to make yourself good at multiple things, trying to water multiple plants.
Yeah.
You made yourself great at one thing and you branched out from there. And still to this day, you how did you do that? Like, cause I heard about you like anybody else heard about you. You know what I'm saying? Just really coming up. When you talk T-shirts, when you talk, you know what I'm saying, all over T-shirt, it was Snap Man. So, I'm sure you had competition. I'm sure you had roadblocks. I'm sure you had, you know, but you made your way through to become like the Kobe Bryant of the game. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do what the next man want.
Yeah.
That's really the key though. And the reason why I say that because we all had competition though. Like, you know, I didn't let me think. Because when I first started off, can I be honest with you though? When I first started off, there really wasn't no competition. Because the only people that was doing our thing was like the airbrush people like in Metro.
Yeah, the
so
Metro
they hated
mall.
me, man, because they seen how I was coming. They tried to get me kicked out the mall.
Yeah.
I'm like, I signed the contract. It's over with for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to the mall office, do whatever you got to, you know what I'm saying? It's over with.
Yeah.
So, and there was like a small little roadblock, but that only did, but just motivated me. Like, I'm like, well, damn, for this man to try to get me kicked out the mall and they ain't did nothing, but just showed up. It's like, I knew then we was working with, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you ain't going to fear nothing that you don't, you know, that ain't a threat to you or whatever, though. So, and that's how I took that, though. So, and like I said, the hunger by itself alone is just, like I said, to stay consistent over the years. Yeah. And if I did have any competition, I just turned up. Like, I never laid down, you know what I'm saying? I never laid down to say, hey, man, like, I'm just a warrior, man. Like, I got warrior, like, tatted on me. Like, I always been a fighter, physically, mentally. Like, I always been a fighter. So it's kind of like, no matter what, no matter how many shoot at you or whoever try to get at you, jump. It's like the mindset is that go all out. You know what I mean? Just go all out. You know what I'm saying?
That's motivation. That's motivation for the youth. And like I said, that's all we about. You know what I'm saying? One of the main things is motivating the youth. That's key right there. You a prime example of showing me and anybody else it can happen. You ain't gotta switch up. You ain't gotta, cause this ain't working. You know, I'm sure you had slow days. I'm sure you had bad weeks, bad months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to switch up. You ain't gotta change up your game. Stick to it. You know what I'm saying? And I said the Kobe Bryant of the game because I heard Kobe Bryant speak on how when he first ever played in his first game, I think he might have had. If he had 2 points, I think it was terrible. It was the point to where, nigga, you shouldn't pick up a ball no more.
Ever again.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he stuck to it, and I mean that's why I said that's obviously what you did. You know what I'm saying? And you stuck to it, and here it is.
Yeah, and since we on this topic, I just want to pick your brain, actually, man. On them tough days, like what Kobe had, like how you say you had tough days, man. What keeps you motivated? Every day you wake up, you done got to where you at now, but man, what keeps you saying, man, I gotta go harder today? It's my hustle. Was it like you was saying, never going back? Or what's your motivation every day to get up and go harder?
Shit, the fear of losing, the fear of falling off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know, I done seen people come and go. I done seen people open their businesses, close their businesses. Yeah. I done seen a lot. Literally, I done seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, you never want to go back to that. And it's kind of like I always wake up like I'm broke. You know what I mean? Like I'm hungry. Like I ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think, like I'm still regular. My mindset still like Like, I don't know, like people think, I don't know how they look at me though, whatever though, that's cool. However they look at me, whatever. But when I wake up, turn, like, eat them up today. Like, y'all, I wish y'all could see me when I wake up. Like, when I be bumping around the house, man, it be like a pregame show going on before I even make it to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the basketball players be when they be getting amped up? You know what I'm saying? So it's like my routine always the same. I'm amped up. I hype myself up. You know, when I'm driving to work, I'm bumping my music because I'm like, I'm about to turn up. I'm about to get on them.
I noticed you said you hyped yourself up. That means you don't need no crowd. You don't need no friends. You don't need no. It started with you.
Start with you for sure. You gotta believe in you first, man, before somebody else believe in you for sure. Yo.
Yeah, most definitely. You most definitely gotta do that. So look, earlier in the conversation, you said, you know, at the mall, you know, like they say, you ain't doing nothing great if you ain't got no hate. But you know, you say how they were hating on your man, and that was a small roadblock. So real quick, I just want to ask you, man, for the people that don't know, man, what would you say was some of the biggest, you know, roadblocks or challenges that you had in your path to get here today?
We was talking T-shirts?
I'm just talking. Yeah, we can talk in the business. It's whatever you want to talk about with your hustle. What was one of the biggest challenges?
I'm gonna tell you something about the game of life, man. Like, when they said that song "More Money, More Problems," they weren't lying, right? You know, cause we were broke coming up when this song came out. I ain't know what.
Just talking to Mike for me.
Make the long story short. When you doing your thing, period. I don't care if it's rapping, singing, whatever. You gonna have hate or jealousy or envy coming all different kind of angles, right? Just imagine you standing right there. This dude may be hating on you because a female like your work. This dude may be hating on you because he may do T-shirts and want to do the same thing you do. You got this dude over here, like I say, dude with the mall, whatever. You know, you got people that just seeing your success, but then like just knocking it just because you're successful, just for the mere fact that you're successful at what you do. Don't even know you, just like, man, forget that dude, man. I'm like, who now? You know what I'm saying? Like I be hearing stories. I'm like, I don't even be knowing their names. So it'd be like, okay, that's part of the game. So it kind of makes me smile because I knowing that this is what the rappers rap about when we was coming up. You know, you hear the rap, but when you broke, you really ain't got a lot of haters. So you can't, you can hear the rappers talk about haters, but hey, no, like, hey, no, me, I'm broke, you know, like, so it's kind of like you can't feel it, but now it's like, oh, everything that everybody warned me about, so this is what they told me about. Now I'm experiencing it, so I can deal with it now. So when the hate comes, it's like, oh shit, the hate coming from like these different angles. What you have to do is go around. It's kind of like a square. You got to kind of like run a circle around a square. You see what I'm saying? And throw it off. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, they shooting at this. But, man, you got it. This kind of like what they say, checkers, not chess.
Yeah.
If I'm saying it right.
I think it was chess,
not checkers.
Yeah, chess, not checkers. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
You gotta be able to outsmart people in general because you never know who, what's what a person's intentions or whatever case may be. But in life, you know, you gotta hope for the best and expect the worst with anybody, you know, with anything. So you can't let that take you in or hinder your motivation to say, man, people hating on me, man, I'm not gonna do this no more, or my family not supporting me, I'm not gonna do this no more. You gotta have it in your brain, man. If it ain't stuck in your brain, I don't know what else to tell you though, but it starts with yourself first.
Right.
Foremost.
So look, what's next? What's next for Snap, man?
Man, I'm coming harder every year, man. Like, man, we got some new stuff we about to get ready to drop, man. Within 2 more months from now, though, you know, put in some orders for some equipment or whatever. Just a lot of new things, a lot of new techniques we've been working on behind the scenes. Right. Our website been popping. We've been dropping new stuff on that. So we just kind of like staying afloat, just kind of being innovative, you know, because the thing about it, though, as soon as I get bored, I'm through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do this no more. But so I got to kind of entertain myself. And plus, I'm an artist. So it's like, you got to be creative and to keep afloat and stay positive and stay motivating the people and giving the people what they want to at the same time. So other than that, just living my life, you know, Yeah, I say I got another surprise on the way, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Don't
y'all gonna
get too
find
much
out
out.
soon. Y'all gonna find out soon. Tell them you gonna, either way you gonna find out with Snap, man, because his hustle gonna put it in your face. Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, man, it's just a lot of stuff, man, that we just having fun with though. Because I tell people quick, man, it's kind of like when I approach stuff, it's kind of like me starting brand new again. Can I be honest with you though? Everything that I'm doing, I feel like I'm just not starting to do t-shirts. Like literally, but I think that's the part of not becoming complacent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
and
being
you really
settled.
you really love what you do.
Yeah, that too though. You know what I'm saying? And then I love being on top of the game, man. Like, and so I'm knowing that listening to when they say Kobe used to be in the gym after hours when everybody was gone and before everybody would get there, that's me. Like when everybody sleep, I'm up like creating master plans, master projects that I'm like, ooh, the world gonna love this, you know what I'm saying? People gonna love this, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I have a hard time going to sleep sometimes because my brain is so creative that I be up, mixing it up, kind of like how y'all be in the studio, you know, y'all dropping 5 hits. That's the same way as being an artist, rap artist, graphic artist. As an artist, you want to give people the best, you know, so.
And understand, it don't matter if he didn't include what you got going on, man, whatever you is doing, it's an art. You know, like how you spoke on earlier, whatever you're doing, you got to love it. That happens to be a part of, man, whatever you're doing, it's an art. You the artist, so now you got to paint your picture. Yeah, you got to let the people see your canvas.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's all we speak on. You spoke on, man, how you like to always come up with something new. You've been doing this for years on top of years, but you make it feel new to you. And that's what we be speaking on all the time, man. Whenever you're doing something, you got to start from the bottom. That's how you learn to appreciate it.
Exactly.
You got to be able to, know what I'm saying, change with the time as well.
You got to adapt.
You know what I'm saying? You say you've been running your business 17
Sweet
years.
17.
So you know, I'm sure you know there's no way you could be successful today in 2022 running off the same operation you were running in 2007. You know what I'm saying? So,
man.
you know, don't never think you can just be settled.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to change the game, switch up the game.
Be innovative.
But Snap, what can we find you? What can they find you? What, you know what I'm saying? We was talking, you were talking about the website and let them know what can they find you, how can they get
Instagram, social media, things of that nature.
Okay. First of all, we're going to drop this website on you. It's www.smdexclusive.com. One of the hottest website 3D all overs in the United States of America.
Right.
My IG, SMD Exclusive. Personal, Snapman the Truth, DA Truth. Other than that, that's about it, man. We're here located in Ridgeland, right next to Wingstop. So if y'all want to pull up on us, get a nice shirt, come see your boy. Come next to Wingstop on 51 in Ridgeland, though.
Yeah.
Come holler at me. Yeah, we're going to take care of you.
And man, I had a good time. I had a great time over here with this episode of the podcast. I had a great conversation. But how about you, my co-host, Bob Man Chase? Man, how you felt about it? What's your comments, you know?
Man, you know what I'm saying? The energy. I love the energy whenever Snap come around, man. You know what I'm saying? I love the energy. And it was another hustle story, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure a lot of people can learn from this conversation and sit down today.
Exactly.
Most definitely. I 100% agree. 120 not a fact. But hey, with that being said, it's more than just a saying. It's more than just a brand. It's a lifestyle. All hustle, no handouts. And hey, before we get out of here, make sure y'all go check out the merch at ahnshop.com. Y'all go get the merch, the All Hustle No Handout podcast merch.
All Hustle No Handout merch. Make sure you go get that. SMD Exclusive, the website. Make sure you own that.
Yes, sir. We checking out.
So,
all hustle, no handout. All I know is that paper route. Don't matter how you getting the paper, long as you getting it. No doubt. All hustle, no handout. Don't matter how you getting the paper, long as you getting it. No doubt.
And with that being said, it's more than just a saying. It's more than just a brand. It's a lifestyle. All hustle, no handouts. And it's just like this.